Hello guys, this is BGS Spectre, and I'm gonna show you some callouts for the map Cracked. And this area is called Dumpster Spawn because of all the dumpsters. So this is Dumpster Spawn, and Dumpster Spawn has 3 exits that you can go out through. And this area right here is the fire room, or the fire building, because of all the fire. And once you walk through here, this is Barricade Street, because this giant barricade over here, which is right next to the dumpster spawn, by the way, and fire building. And if you walk towards here, towards that big red building, which is Big Red, this is the back of Big Red. And if you go towards here, you're now entering Big Red, which also has a window over here, which is the Big Red window. And if you jump towards here, you'll be on the rooftop, Big Red rooftop. And if you come into here, this giant square over here, this is the light courtyard, because there are a bunch of Vietnamese lights. And in between light courtyard and Barricade Street is this restaurant, and it's called restaurant because there are soups and there's a fridge over here. So these 2 rooms is the restaurant, and it also does have a 2nd floor where a lot of people like to camp. So this is the restaurant 2nd floor and restaurant stairs. And if you do walk through here into Big Red, up these stairs, walk down here, you will enter the arches, which is an area that a lot of rushers like to run through. And it is called arches because of the big arch doorway, which also does connect to the courtyard, by the way, or the light courtyard. And this street right here is the bus street, and the reason being for it called bus street is because there's a giant bus over here. So this whole entire street, which also does connect to Dumpster Spawn and the Barricade Street, is, this bus street. And bus street also next to this big building, which is called the Green Building, which also has green walls inside, by the way. It's the only green building in this map, and next to it is the statue. And in the statue, there's a bomb right here in certain game types, so this area will be called out a lot. And up here, this is the statue stairway leading into Big Cracked, and Big Cracked is basically the bigger of the halves of the 2nd Cracked, which is a divided building that has been cracked in 2. This is Open Cracked, this is Big Cracked, and this is Little Cracked. Big Cracked also does have a window, which will be called Big Cracked Window, or Big Window. And this is Cracked Open, that is open. And this is Little Cracked, Cracked Little, Big Cracked, Little Cracked. This is Big Balcony, and this is Little Balcony because of the sizes of the 2 buildings. And walking through here, this is the bus street, and this is Dumpster Spawn. This area right here, which is right next to both, is the baby milk area because of the sign. It does say baby milk, and I guess it also says it in Vietnamese on top. And if you walk towards here, this giant street, which is parallel to bus street, it is the main street. And if you cross towards the main street, you will see these 2 alleyways. This alleyway is the fruit alley because of the fruits. And the other alleyway will be called the ramp alley because it has a big ramp. And it will lead you to this area, which it has a bunch of fruit markets, so it's called Fruits. And right next to Fruits is the fruit room. And if you walk out of the fruit room, this will be the butcher room because of all the blood and shit that happens in this room. And across from it, this is the army street because there's a giant army truck. This area right here, this is Little Red. Don't get confused with Big Red, which is across the map from it. And it does have, this is just a little puny little room with 2 windows. So this is Little Red, and the other one is Big Red. And this is Army Street. And right here, this is the fish market, where I guess people wash fish and stuff. So this is the fish market. And right here, this is the water spawn, which is opposite from Dumpster Spawn. And the reason being is because there's a bunch of water. And if you run towards here from Water Spawn, there's this little this broken building, and this building, we're gonna call it a broken piece, and the only reason we're calling it a broken piece is because there's a peace sign on it, and this building is broken. The only thing I can come up with. So, once you pass broken piece into the main street, this is Main Street, the other one is Bus Street. There are these two buildings which will be used a lot in games. This building will be called the Vietnamese building because there's a sign that says Vietnamese or Vietnam. And this is Vietnam building. The first floor will be called Vietnam. And this is Vietnam stairs. And the second floor will be called Vietnam window. So this Vietnam window will refer to this whole entire second floor. Down there is Vietnamese or Vietnam. And this building is called the 3-story. And this area right here, I'm on the 3rd floor right now. So this is going to be called 3rd floor. This area right here is 2nd floor, so obviously this would be the 1st floor. From 1st floor you can walk to Army Street, which will then lead you to Main Street, from Main Street to Open Cracked to Restaurant, Bus Street, and Army Street, and so on. And there is, you know, the dumpster spawn back there, and light courtyard back there, the statues, and the green building back there, with the fruit alley right there. And the ramp alley with fruits back there, and fruit room and butcher room, which is back there. Little Red, remember this is the smaller of the two red buildings, so this will be Little Red. So yeah, these are just callouts from the map cracked. Hopefully you guys will use it. So yeah.